Sup, my airsoft bros. Today we're going to be doing some modifications to this WeTech Glock 34. Now, what we're going to be doing to it is we're going to be switching it over to a different hop-up bucking. This is actually the hop-up bucking that was in it. I'm filming this intro after doing everything. So I'm just going to sit back and relax while you watch the video and see how we go from this to a maple leaf hop-up bucking, which is for WeTech Glocks. Or G pistol. Let me go ahead and chamber that video. Hey! Alright, so of course, with any upgrade that's internal, we're going to start with disassembly. For that, we'll eject our magazine from our gun, we'll rack our slide to the back, pull down on our takedowns, slide that upper slide right off the rail. Then we're going to break down our upper slide. The lower frame we can just set to the side. We don't need that for now. Let's go ahead and break this down. I have a cow thread adapter on the barrel, threaded outer barrel here. So I'll go ahead and take the spring guide out, take the little damper plate, take my inner barrel and outer barrel. I'm just going to slide my outer barrel out. I'm not going to remove the nut and take this barrel out. I'm just going to set that to the side. Now that I got my inner barrel and hop-up unit out, let's go ahead and take these screws out, and then we'll just fillet this hop-up unit in half and take the barrel out. We'll pop the bucking off the barrel, and then we'll swap it. If the screws are in really tight, you might have to work on them a bit. I had to heat my screws up ever so slightly just to get them to work out. They had a little bit of it looked like they had a little bit of adhesive on them to keep them stuck in there. I don't know why someone would do that. The screws in the for the hop-up unit sit inside the inner barrel, and even if they were to unthread themselves a little bit, they would just be stopped by the outer barrel. So I don't really see a point. Just be careful that you don't melt your hop-up wheel or add too much direct heat to this metal part, because it could heat up your bucking, and you wouldn't want to do that. Just add heat a little bit directly to each screw, just to heat the screw up a little bit. It worked for me. It might work for you. That might be a pointless thing to do. I'm sure someone will comment down below. All right, now here I have the hop-up unit split in half. This is the hop-up arm, the little bar. This is the hop-up wheel. That's the part you interact with. This is the part that interacts with your bucking. And here is the stock barrel with the maple leaf bucking. Now, to go ahead and pull it off, you would just take it off. You're probably going to have the stock bucking if you're watching this. This is the stock one. I'm saving it for a gun that doesn't have one, or one that breaks. Now what you're going to do is you're going to notice that inside here, there's this little grooved in part. It's hard to see on camera, but it's a groove that will fit into this channel that's cut into your barrel. And you're going to have to find that. It's right here. So you line the groove up with that. And the piece that has this little hump on it, that is what pushes on the BB, should line up perfectly with the opening at the back of that barrel. It's the piece right here between these two grooves right there. Now, to put this back into our hop-up unit, the hop-up unit has this little opening in the back here. Little opening back here. There's this fin right here on the back of the nub, hop-up nub. It fits right in there. Just like that. Go ahead and lay that down. Take your hop-up wheel, put that on the little hop-up wheel arm bar that's sticking out there. And then take your little hop-up arm, and it's got this little fin, and that fin sits inside of a groove. A grooved channel that's in your hop-up wheel. That little channel in there, it's going to sit inside that, and that's what makes it go up and down when you spin the hop-up wheel. When it's all put together, it should look like this. This is the bottom of the barrel. This part that I'm touching right now, this is your hop-up wheel. The arm goes into the little groove, the channel that's on it, and then it comes down to here, which is the top of the barrel, and that's where it presses into the opening of the barrel using that hop-up nub to put pressure on the BB, which is going to be going in through here, this way in the gun. So that's looking down the barrel. So now let's put the other side back on. And it should all fit on just like that. When you look at the top, you should see the top of the hop-up arm. When you look at the bottom, you should see your hop-up wheel. Go ahead and put your screws back in. Like I said, there's no reason to use any Loctite or any adhesive at all. Just back them a little bit to make sure you don't cross-thread them, and then spin them on in. Next, back it up a little bit, and then spin it on in. Just like that, it now has a maple leaf bucking. Later on, we'll swap out the barrel, but not this video. Let's go ahead and put this inner barrel and hop-up unit back into our outer barrel. There we go. Now take our little wedge here, or little spacer, put that down there, and then find the top of your spring guide. It should match up perfectly with that. Press that in there, rest it on the hop-up there. Now that's back together, slide it back on. Let's go ahead and put a mag in it with some gas and test it out. The FPS should be very consistent from shot to shot, and it should have a lot more control on your ranged shots, whether or not you're adding hop or taking hop away from it. I would say if you're going to be playing outdoor, go ahead and put a good bit of hop on it, and just have it set for distance, because if someone's closer, it's not really going to matter. It's not increasing its power; it's just increasing the amount of upwardness that it's having. So I would go ahead and pre-dial that before a game. That's why you got staging areas.
You might experience this problem as well. Example. Charging the weapon, BB falls out. That's because the hop-up nub isn't holding the round, waiting for it to be fired. It's just passing right through it. Easy fix for that, we're going to take and we're going to bend down on the hop-up arm just ever so slightly, so that it's putting some pressure on the bucking, just enough for it to touch the BB. Not so much put any hop on it. It's not really adding pressure, just enough to get that thing not just open. Before you put the gun together, it's easy to check for it. Just take a round and just drop it into your chamber and just make sure it doesn't fall out the bottom. As long as it's holding it without you holding it, you're good. Alright. Now, round's not falling out. We've fixed it. Here we go. Yes, definitely went up. However, you still get, spikes in your FPS with your first couple shots, regardless, really, of what you're doing. Especially with gas, because the first, the high pressure, wears off. It's just a descending hill once you start firing. But still, it's the hop being more consistent, which is what this is really going to help with, is putting more consistent hop on each round as it's coming out, because it's just a better designed part. It's not just a stock thing that they just do to do the job. This is built specifically to do it better. And now it's upgraded. This is now an upgraded pistol. I would never say this is custom. This is an upgraded pistol. Custom is when you do stuff that's just funky, stuff that's not out of the box available, like that LCT AK up here, this one right here. This is an AMD 65M, that one over there, and that's supposed to have a wire stock on it, but instead I had some metal plates welded to the end of it, cut just like the PKM stock mount plates, and then I took a PKP stock and put it on that AK, along with a Troy handguard and some other aftermarket parts, making that something that is definitely custom. It's permanently modified and totally different than it was out of the box. But upgrading is still very important to get that performance up. You can worry about how it looks after or before, either way. With Airsoft, 95% is looking the part. The other 5% is the upgrade stuff that the speed softers are always doing. See you guys next time in the war zone. Oh, don't forget, I did upgrade the magazine on the SIG P226 by KJ Works. This has been refurbished. It's now working and fixed by yours truly, and is now a functioning gas blowback SIG. And it's now got an upgraded magazine with a 9-ball top gasket for more consistency and a better FPS. Went ahead and upgraded one of the magazines on my WeTech SIG 229 while I was at it. So that's an upgrade you can do in less than a minute. I should do a video on that. I will, right after this. 1 minute upgrade. I'll see you next time. Don't forget, you can win this as soon as I get to 500 subs on my YouTube channel. This is going to be going to a commenter on one of the videos where I talk about the giveaway for this gun. I'll just pick one at random, and that person will be getting this shipped to them so that they can enjoy it. Because you know, I got my WeTech 229, and I don't really need the full size 226. So someone else can enjoy it, and I'll just have it upgraded by the time I get to 500 subs. Who knows what else I'll have done to this pistol by then? Maybe it'll be custom by then. I'll see you next time in the war zone.